I will die on this hill that consumer first marketing is always going to be the thing that works. The way we execute that will adjust, but the core of knowing your person and knowing what they care about and centering everything you do. And I know that at least to me, feels like a no duh sort of statement. The number of audits that I just finished doing that were focused on the business instead of the consumer is very, very high because it's very, very, very easy to slip into that.
Interesting, yeah.
Because we think about what we want to share, not what they need or want to hear.
Welcome back to Marketing from X to Z. We're your hosts.
I'm Liz Bachman, owner of Wildflower Social Media.
And I'm Mike Albuquerque from Bear Double. And Liz, what are we talking about today?
Today we're talking about marketing shifts. It's the beginning of 2026, and so I'm really excited to get into what we think is going to be a little bit different about 2026 and maybe some things that are also going to kind of stay the same.
Fun. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, marketing does this, right? It keeps changing.
Yeah.
As everything.
Well, of course, but there's also always through lines that we just continue to build on because each year it just becomes more and more true.
Yeah, so we're going to talk a little bit about that today and how we can keep your momentum going into 2026 and what should shift as well.
Absolutely.
So let's get started with some of the things that overwhelm small business owners when it comes to like New Year's and just thinking of, hey, are there new trends that I need to follow? Are there new things happening that I need to shift and adjust to? Why do you think this is a time that can be overwhelming?
Well, okay, so it's a very similar thing to your New Year's resolutions, right? So this episode is going to be posted on the second Monday of the year.
Yeah.
Right? And the way that this calendar worked, the second Friday is the Friday before that. And that's known as Quitter's Day for New Year's resolutions. I don't know if you knew that or not.
No,
because it takes us about that long to go, oh my God, I bit off more than I could chew. And what have I done?
Okay.
Well, we do that in our personal lives, but we also do it in our business lives because we just want to change everything because it's a new year and it's just going to be like I'm in my so-and-so era and it's a new year, new me and all of that, and that's great, but often it's not sustainable because it's done as like this really sharp pivot of all of these things that we need to do instead of just like, okay, so I have a goal of publishing, for example, publishing YouTube videos this year, and then so I've done no prep work, but I've decided that in January, I'm going to publish 4 a month. And I've never done it before.
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense that by the second one, you're like,
like exhausted and burnt out, right?
What have I done instead of like building up to it because you want to execute because it just feels like that. But I don't know if that makes sense. It's a little bit of a long-winded answer. But
it does, yeah.
That's where I think people run into issues.
That makes sense. And I think this is also like, sometimes we talked about the end of the year being a little bit of a natural break. We're taking more time off, for the holidays and whatnot, and which builds up, it's kind of like a reset in many ways, and it builds up this excitement. And, I know for myself, plans start bubbling in my head of like, I want to do this and I want to do that and I want to do this and that. And then it just becomes too much, right? And then we become victims to our own ambitions in that sense of, setting ourselves up to fail by just trying to just kind of overdo things.
Well, I mean, it's like super easy to think about creating all of this extra like content for myself and all of this marketing for myself during a period of time where my clients aren't responding to their emails because they're with their families, so I'm not doing all of that extra work. Yeah. But now we're back into like the swing of things where we have to do both.
Yeah.
And I think that maybe that also, because of that natural break, it's like, oh, but look at all this time that I could be spending doing these things. It's that time doesn't actually exist in like the real world. That's like holiday time.
Holiday time. I like that. That's very true. Okay, so during the holiday time, we come up with all these crazy new ideas and things we want to do. So how do we find the balance between, chasing these new shiny objects or new trends that we want to, but also just staying current with marketing shifts and trends that are happening?
So I think the most important thing here is taking stock of your capacity. And I don't mean to be like a Debbie Downer, right? But like, what can you realistically do?
Yeah.
Then from that, like, I like to try new things. I like to chase shiny stuff. So I would be very much a hypocrite if I told you not to chase shiny stuff. But there needs to be a little bit more of there does need to be a little bit of a nuance. So instead of chasing all of the new shiny things, you did your audit, right, of what your marketing stuff was working. So doing what is working and then maybe pursuing one new thing to experiment with. And if that works and you're able to integrate it into your stuff, maybe then adding another instead of trying to just do all of it at once, if that.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think we're all guilty of this. Like we chase opportunity.
Of course.
We find things that are interesting. We see trends and say, hey, let me follow through with this. Let me try to implement this as part of my marketing strategy. We see something I can potentially impact our business, and that's tempting.
Oh my gosh,
Right?
yeah.
I like to I like to equate like trends and shifts with the term rolling with the punches, which is like a combat sports theme. You know, that's when, but a lot of people refer to it as, you know, these changes as if it's something that's proactive. In boxing, when you're talking about rolling with the punches, that's a defensive move, right? That's you're getting punched in the face, which means things are going wrong,
Oy.
but you minimize what's going wrong by knowing what to do when things are going wrong, right? So as we're talking about shifts, I think that if what you're doing is working in your business and it's growing, it's being successful, then double down on it. If you're having if you're having slow periods or you're noticing that there's certain things going wrong, you're losing clients or leads, then I think that's a time when you say, hey, let me readjust here and try to change a little bit here or there.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with that.
All right. Now, talking about like what's been changing as we're heading into 2026, we're at the very beginning of it. What do you see? What do you see that is still working?
So, and I will die on this hill that consumer first marketing is always going to be the thing that works. The way we execute that will adjust, but the core of knowing your person and knowing what they care about and centering everything you do. And I know that at least to me feels like a no duh sort of statement. The number of audits that I just finished doing that were focused on the business instead of the consumer is very, very high because it's very, very, very easy to slip into that.
Interesting, yeah.
Because we think about what we want to share, not what they need or want to hear. That will always be the thing that works, is making sure that you're centering it on the what's in it for them. Right? And right now, and in 2025, we saw more storytelling content. So what's in it for them through storytelling content, I think, is still going to be a thing in 2026.
Okay, I like that. I think on my side of the things, I see things like SEO is something that is still working. It's changing.
Yeah.
Absolutely, there's some adjustments that are coming to it, but it's still working. I think we see some of the tendencies on to connect with clients through video, for instance. I think that's something that's still working. Again, it's
Yes.
changing, and there might be new efficiencies with it. But new ways to also make sure that you're coming across as authentic. But I think those are two things that you can continue to lean on as part of your marketing strategy and the way that you connect with customers and leads when you're not there in person. So this is when we start getting into the thick of it, into the thick of our discussion today. So we talked about what's working. What is one shift that you are expecting to see for 2026, and how do you think that small businesses should prepare for it?
Okay, so I'm going to say something that I think is probably going to be very annoying for small businesses, but is going to be a good thing in the long run. We've been talking about short form for the last 5 years, right? 2020, 2021, 22, 23, 24, 25. I think we're going to start seeing a pivot more into long form.
Okay, yeah.
And what I mean is podcasts, right? But also longer form video content, YouTube channels, things of that nature. I mean, you see it with like how, say, Instagram is prioritizing what they care about. They're looking at watch time and skip rate, right? Because they want to keep you on the platform. And that's always been true, but the way that happens has been different. You also kind of need to think about the amount of small, low effort, like if I see another 3 words on a thing with a read-in caption and a long caption, and the video is like 4 seconds long, so it looks like it performed super well, but added absolutely no value to anyone for any reason. You, like, yeah, okay, that hack worked for a little bit, but that's the thing about following hacks, is they stop working. So I think you're starting to see a little bit of a pushback on that and a little bit more of an expectation. Like, I see a lot of creators publishing, like, 2.5-minute videos, and those are still short-form content. But just the fact that even our short-form creators are leaning into pushing longer. You've seen longer limits on a lot of the social media platforms like TikTok and Instagram. I mean, it's just... For me, I think that long form is going to be a big deal, and long form takes more planning than short form does. So how that impacts small businesses is that you're going to need to plan further ahead to make it work. Otherwise, it's going to eat you alive. So, because, like, you know, we do Q&As and talk about our expertise and lean in on this podcast, right? And that's great. But if we were scripting, talking directly to the camera instead of talking to each other, that would require a whole other level of pre-planning and making sure that we have all of that coordinated, right? So I think for small businesses, learning how to leverage long form, even if it's just adding a couple of extra minutes and, like, playing with that and experimenting that, for me, is going to be one of the shifts I think we see.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I like it, right? We're investing in long form by doing this, so score.
You're welcome.
So I think this is, this is my hot take.
Okay.
For the episode.
Okay.
I think this might be the year when, and maybe it's a year early. I'll say at the most it's a year early.
Stop hedging, out with it.
All right. We might see some AI fatigue in terms of content.
Okay.
I think we're already seeing a little bit of it, but I think in a larger scale, just the idea, like I already have like my kids and friends who are not in the industry, just kind of going through a video and be like going through the videos and just kind of have that, no, this is fake. Yeah, this is AI. I think everyone is kind of relating to that a little bit. I think it's fun to play with, and be in the Sora app or play with other video platforms. But this idea of AI generated content being something that can work for businesses, I think we're going to see fatigue from that because people are going to want authentic connections, and so we're going to see a decrease in its use, at least as far as content marketing.
Okay. I don't disagree with that. I think that...
That's her disagreeing.
No, I don't disagree with that. I think that some of the AI stuff that's being used in a creative way, that's not trying to hide that it's AI, will still be completely valid.
Yeah.
I think that'll be... But people that are... Yeah, the using it as a tool without owning up to it being AI and trying to slip it by, or doing something that really should have been done by you, but you're using it as AI to not do the work. I think those things are definitely something that consumers are absolutely exhausted by and think is lazy.
I'll give an example.
Yeah.
Like, let's say that you are on a window cleaning company. And you are posting videos on social media or on your website or photos, and they are of AI generated, like that does. I think that's gonna hurt more than it's gonna benefit the business.
And I completely agree with that. I think that that's been a bad idea all along, but I think that consumers are actually smart enough now to know it's fake, whereas before maybe you got away with it a little bit more because people were not familiar with what AI looks like. That being said, some of that AI stuff has gotten really real looking, and I don't think that's a good thing. That's a whole different soapbox about
I think
about consumer trust. And
I think it'll reach more like what you see with stock, right? Stock video, stock photography. I think it's a great tool. I use it on a lot of things for my clients, but there needs to be you need to know what you're doing, right? If I'm going to use the example of the window cleaning company again, just to stick with that one. If you are, let's say you're in Atlanta area window cleaning company, and you are posting a video of someone cleaning a window, AI or not, on a home that absolutely looks like we don't have here, that's just in a completely different style,
it doesn't make sense.
Then that's going to be a disconnect immediately. So I think that's where we're going to be seeing
Well, it's almost like that's centering on what the business wants instead of the consumer.
Yeah.
It's not thinking through it through the lens of the consumer. No, I definitely, I do think that people are getting smarter with AI. So some of the ways that people are, like one of the big things that I've been looking at is like scripting and writing content using AI. Even if you were just like tweaking it before, just isn't enough because people know how ChatGPT talks now.
Yes.
And so when you do that, people read it and they're like, before, honestly, it was okay.
Yeah.
But now it's like you read it and you're like, well, I've read 1,000 things that sound exactly like this because
Yeah.
you didn't do the rest of it. And I think that small businesses, because we're busy and all of that, it kind of leans into doing that. And I don't think that's going to cut it at all anymore.
Yeah.
That makes
I think
sense.
we're going to see it increasing still in helping business with their operations and all that. But I think customer facing, you need to have authenticity.
Well, that kind of actually leans into the next thing that we were going to talk about, which is how AI is continuing to shape marketing and what small business owners should actually be focusing on. Because for me, it's AI is a tool, but it is not your marketing department.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of small business owners that have been using it as a marketing department. And this is not me pitching that you need to buy something from me, but
do.
but definitely do. But it's we're overly relying on it, and we're losing what makes us special, which is what makes us actually able to connect with our customer in the first place, which is the whole premise of marketing.
Exactly.
So it's kind of
Yeah, I think that's exactly the point. I mean, trust is important.
Yeah.
You know, there's things like reviews matter, building that expertise that where people understand that you are an expert on the subject. It's not that you can type in something on ChatGPT and get an answer that everyone else could.
yeah, it's not just about like this is something that's been really interesting that I've been thinking about. I hope I don't take us too far on a derail, but that I've been thinking about with AI, which is around like selling information specifically is not enough anymore because you can just chat GPT it. It's selling wisdom
Yeah.
and customer experience and accountability and those other things. It's not just here's the 10 things you should do for so-and-so, because you can plug that into a AI and you know what? It's not typically too far off for your more basic queries.
Yeah.
So we can also tell when you're selling a checklist that's all AI generated. We know, everyone knows, nobody likes it. Well, it's true.
Nobody likes it. That's true.
Nobody likes it. Oh, God.
All right, let's switch over to social media a little bit.
Oh, my
So,
favorite.
what's happening right now? Are there new platforms or new features that are, gaining more prominence and that are becoming the it thing, or that are fading away?
So, okay, what I was saying before with the long form, YouTube is something that I highly, highly, highly recommend that you invest in. It's been around for a long time. It's going to continue to be around for a long time. So it is not a new thing. Now there's all sorts of like really cool like beta like A/B testing and like AI testing stuff that it does now, which is all like in the last 6 months or so, which is I think super neat. But really from an investing in the building of your brand, I think that that's going to be really important because I think we're going to see other platforms maybe chasing YouTube a little bit, like how you've seen TikTok with the horizontal long form start doing, and Instagram is talking about doing. Instagram's still very much short form right now. Okay, don't hear do long form on Instagram right now because that's not true. But they are talking about doing like Instagram TV.
Okay.
And so they're still talking about it like from a vertical shorts perspective, but come on, we can all see where that's going.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like, it's been a thing. I just think it's going to be one of those things that we need to double down on. So if I were to like pick a platform that I would like really think about investing into right now, it would be your YouTube or your Instagram, with the understanding that you may have to start doing long form towards the end of this year.
Interesting. So I just saw a video the other day that was talking about how half the views on YouTube now are coming from TVs, which is, I think, I didn't see that coming.
So I actually totally did. And the reason for that is because of all of the streaming stuff. Because you've got YouTube TV. YouTube has paid to like YouTube has its TV channel
Yeah.
bit. And when because I was actually having a conversation last night with my dad about how he's looking to become a cord cutter. Right?
Okay.
But he like really cares about his sports. And my mom has this one specific crime channel she wants to see. And so like trying to figure out how to piece all of those things together. And one of the really viable options that was affordable was YouTube TV.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. There's also some thought around monetization when your views are coming from like larger screens versus on your mobile device. So there's a like that I can actually totally see. But I'm also coming from like I've never had cable, so maybe my
I was going to ask when
skewed.
you cut the cord.
Oh, I've never
but
had
you never
it.
had
I
a
never
cord. Okay.
Yeah,
See,
but I cut the cord when I went to college and didn't pay for cable in college.
yeah, I don't think we've paid for. I mean, we had cable when Emily worked for a cable company. We got it basically for free, but and we didn't use it. We had like the NFL, whatever. We I don't watch football, so we didn't have it. But like I don't think we paid for it in the maybe past like 15 years or so.
Yeah, like it's just so the only reason that like my folks is because of the sports.
The sports, yeah.
But there's now viable non-cable options to watch the
That's why I
sports.
pick sports that aren't on cable.
The one we're having a really hard time placing is there's this Italian soccer league that's only on Paramount. Or it's not only on Paramount, but it seems to largely be on Paramount.
Fubo TV. Look into Fubo TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, that they have. I mean, they have my Brazilian league, so they'll have that or Sling. Those are two. Okay, if you're watching us on a TV, please comment below. I'd love to see our first TV.
I wonder how people comment from TV.
Yeah.
I wonder how that works. No, I'm sure it's possible. I just don't know how it works.
You can walk up to the TV and say, okay, we have derailed.
All right, bring it back. Bring it back.
I'm going to see one of the things that I saw on social media the other day was that TikTok had overtaken Google in terms of product questions and how-tos. That's where people are going to now. That was on a report that came out just this year already. So I thought that was interesting in terms of consumer behaviors, right? People are looking to not just be able to read about it, but they want to have some interaction or watch a video, which makes sense.
It does.
I mean, I go to YouTube a lot, but TikTok is interesting because then you have like third parties doing it.
Yeah, I mean, and then Google's also, because of how it's doing, like how it's striving towards that zero-click search, where it's got like it's almost making it even less of a personalized experience in a lot of ways right now. I'm sure they'll adjust things as all of this evolves, but like when I'm searching things on Google and I like the first the majority of the page is like an AI assumption of what I'm looking for, I'm kind of like,
YouTube does have. I do not like their discovery algorithm.
Yes.
I do not love it. But let's not go into another side quest over here.
Keep it focused.
Okay, so I leaned a little bit into consumer behavior, right? Some of these changes with like TikTok overtaking Google in some areas and whatnot. What are some ways that you're seeing audiences interact with the brand differently than they did before?
Yeah, so I don't really know that this is different. I think this is one of those spaces where we're doubling down and maybe emphasizing more, but I don't know that it's different. People are getting and have been very tired of this perfect, aesthetic, curated thing. Now, that doesn't mean that occasionally it's not good, and it also doesn't mean that you won't get a lot of views with that, but engendering trust from that is very, very hard because it may be fun to look at, but most consumers are very detached from that. Like you're actually seeing, and this is a little bit about influencers more than it is businesses themselves, but what you're seeing is influencers whose engagement rates and viewership is tanking because they are completely detached from what people are experiencing and from what like life looks like. So this like curated, beautiful like stuff, like it's beautiful, and if that's genuinely who you are, then by all means go find your people. But what we've done in the past a lot is we've deliberately created that, even if it's not actually authenticity, or like we're doing a lot of marketing that looks like bragging instead of sharing. People are tired of being told what they're doing wrong. They're tired of it. Like when you look at like the person who is scrolling social media now, it's just different, and because the world's different.
Yeah. No, it's interesting that you mentioned this because like I was following, I have several creators that I follow, right, and on YouTube, and there's one who has taken a hobby very much from a hobby channel, but a few years back he invested into basically just scaling it and taking it from something that would be attainable to your everyday person to something that is just at a different scale. And he was just sharing how like year over year, not an overnight thing, but like over time, it's just his views have just tanked because and that's what he attributed it to. Was
Connection.
people weren't able to relate to it.
Yeah.
They could relate to it before when he was doing it at a scale that was more reasonable, and not when it was like this out of the world experience that, you know.
Well, it's like striking, and obviously there are your exceptions, right? There are exceptions to every rule, right? That's but generally speaking, you're wanting to toe this line between like professional, like put together, like we can trust this person, but also this person is a person and they aren't talking down to me. Like if I were to speak to them at an event, they wouldn't look at me like something on their shoe.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, a lot of things have been put out, like, especially in that, like, clean girl aesthetic, like, high-end, like, if I don't know if I would approach one of those people because I don't know what they think of me. I don't know, maybe that's exposing a little bit of my own insecurities there, but, like, it's just, like, you're seeing that because people want to connect with something that's real. People want to connect with something that's attainable. You want to inspire people to do better than what they are doing, but you don't want to do it from a judgmental tone, and you don't want to do it from so far away that it just like, oh, well, you're a different person, so you can do it and I cannot. Like, because there's a lot of that going on. But yeah.
Absolutely. I think one of the things that I've heard as well that is shifting a bit is some of these platforms just, you know, we know that they want you to stay in the platform, right? But there being more of a shift to where even if you're doing like things like link in bio or external links, the algorithm just downgrading your content versus, you know, content that keeps people on the platform, uses the native features and forums and DMs and all that.
Yeah, no, I mean that's also something that they've probably been doubling down on. Like it's been a while. There's been a while now where you've had like Facebook posts with a link don't perform as well as with Facebook posts that do for like and that sort of thing. And you kind of have to do this like interesting little tightrope dance of, well, I'm a business and I want them to click my link because I'm a business. And I want more discoverability. So it's knowing what the purpose of the piece of content you created is. It can help you make that assessment, right? And like, I mean, I do a lot of like posting in Facebook groups for my foster dog, right? Like that's something that I do way too much of. And the posts that I have done that have the link in, and this is totally anecdotal, but the posts that I have done that have the link in the comments instead of in the caption have reached way more people. It's the difference between a post that gets 30 shares and a post that gets 130 shares.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So it's anecdotal, but it is a thing that, yeah, I completely agree with you that we're seeing more prioritization towards things that, because that's how these platforms make money. That's one of the things that we don't think about when it comes to social media is free because they make money by selling data to advertisers. So those advertisers spend that money to be put in front of you. And the only way that they make more of that money is by keeping you on that platform so they can serve you more ads. That's not malicious, but it's how they're able to have these incredibly robust systems that you are not paying for.
Yeah.
So
makes sense. So learn how to leverage the tools. Right, and those platforms do have a lot of tools and different tools and shops and everything. I mean,
yeah.
you can have a whole business inside some of those platforms. Now, what about things that are timeless? What do you think does not change and is always going to work no matter what little adjustments are happening in marketing?
The what's in it for them. Focusing everything that you do on what's in it for your consumer or what's in it for your audience, that will never get old.
Yeah, 'cause that's what people are looking for.
Yeah.
Right? It's like sometimes we think that like, oh, my business is so great, everyone wants to hear about it and learn from it. Not really. Right? Not really.
Well, and that doesn't mean that like promoting a product can't be about what's in it for them.
Yeah.
It's just you need to position it not as, look at this fun, shiny thing that we built. I'm so proud of it. Like you can publish that on your personal page, like as an entrepreneur, and your friends and family will be, yay! And that's great. But people who do not know you, who do not care about you as a person, other than maybe just about your general humanity, uh, but they want to know why that new product, how that new product serves them. And that's also like, you know, you get into like these conversations about like sales feels gross. Well, sales feels gross when you're focusing on the features of your product, not on the problem that you're solving for your consumer. And it's the same thing with marketing.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a slight shift in the mindset of how you communicate about your service or your product.
Yeah.
But it makes a big difference in how you communicate and connect with leads. I think branding is something that's timeless. Whether you're investing in a personal brand or you're investing in your business brand, establishing a brand that is clear, that has objectives, and that has a voice, you're never going to regret that. You're never going to regret that. And that's part of just building out what your business is, who you are, how you do things, and it's going to also help you give you a clear vision of who you're talking to. The more you do that, and it'll help them self-sort as well. So keep investing in branding in 2026 and beyond, please. Is there anything that's outdated?
Okay, we hear people all the time talk about like, is it quantity or quality on social media marketing? And okay, if you have all of the money and time in the world, the answer is both. The answer will always be both,
Yeah.
because that is, if you create more great content, you are going to have more eyeballs and more opportunities. That's just a thing. But most of us live in the real world. And so we often have to pick between quantity or quality. Because AI will always beat you on quantity, as a business owner, I would love to see you lean into quality. Because AI will beat you on quantity.
Yeah.
Because it can just...
That makes sense, yeah. Yeah, and I think if you invest in quality, it also just gives you more time to be purposeful about what is going out, how, oops, I lose my pencil here, what goes out, you know, what's in it for the customer, and, you know, just clarify your message a little bit more. Put some thought into your captions, your videos, your production.
Well, it's also, it's investing in your branding.
Yeah.
Actually, it's a little bit of what you just said. It is investing into your branding when you take the time to put out high quality content. And that does not mean, by the way, 4K, high-end editing and stuff like that. It is the thoughtfulness and the like intention, and that, not just putting something out there because you, oh, I was supposed to post today, so I just put something out there.
That makes a lot of sense. And I think that relates to, you know, what I would say here, which is people looking for the easy button, which I think is a lot of this AI mindset of, I can just do this. You imagine if, you know, when we started this, our thought was, how can we do this without doing it ourselves? Well, we can go to Notebook LM and just say, create us a podcast episode. And
I could have done that? No, I'm just kidding.
and you know, I don't know if I mean, it's a good tool for you to learn things if you're more, you know, if you learn more by listening. But as far as like putting out content marketing like that and trying to get the podcast with the voice that everyone else hears, or maybe you go the extra route of using 11 Labs to change the voice, at which point you know, you got a few different costs, you got time and effort, you got to check things, but not, I digress. This idea of looking for the easy button and saying, what is the easy solution out? How can I just cross this off my list? If it was that easy, everyone would do it, and therefore it wouldn't be efficient.
Well, and I think the piece that we have kind of lost or disconnected from is, why does content marketing work? What are people looking for in content marketing? And it's not just a churn of stuff to be available. There's endless things to entertain ourselves on. It's not like you have to actually be doing something.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, don't read that with frustration.
Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about focus, and specifically, how can we maintain our focus as small business owners without losing the ability to also just adapt to these shifts that are coming?
Yeah, so for me, it's leveraging your content planning tools in advance. I mean, I plan out content far in advance, right? But then batching it, not the day or the week of, oh my goodness, but batching it closer to time so that you can apply the things that are most current to the ideas that you invested the time in thinking about. Does that make sense?
It does, yeah. Yeah. I think for me, just having, you know, setting clear goals, which we had a goal planning episode just a few weeks ago, but setting clear goals, and that's where you maintain your focus because it gives you a North Star to go towards. But also every quarter, I don't want to say every month necessarily, but every quarter, take a look at those goals. Do they still align with what you're trying to do, with what you're seeing in the market, in your industry? And if so, then double down on it. If there's small shifts or adjustments that need to be made, you can do them then, right? But if you have those clear goals, you can keep going and maintain your focus in that way.
Absolutely.
All right, then let's talk about like something that people can try in 2026. Is there any marketing experiment or something that's just kind of low risk that you think people should be playing around with?
So for this episode, I am very, very, very much staying in the content marketing and social media marketing realm of things. What I would love to see more businesses do is taking the same idea and trying and creating content on it in a variety of different formats and taking a variety of different approaches to it to figure out what content format actually resonates with their audience, because we make a lot of assumptions that we don't validate.
Okay.
And maybe it's because the one you were doing is the easiest one for you to do.
Yeah.
Right? Or the lowest hanging fruit. But if you're going to try something new, I would love to see, like, so that was a talking head that you did. Okay, great. And then how can you repurpose that into a vlog, or how can you repurpose that into a split screen, or a, my brain is glitching, but like there's a bunch of different variations of content that you can use, like a skit.
Yeah.
Like, how can you do those things to see how you're best going to be able to communicate with your consumer? So I mean, we were talking before we started rolling about some video testing that I'm doing on my dog's Instagram, and that's just like a fun play. Like, I'm not really trying to achieve anything there. I'm just like, I'm just playing with it, because he's adorable. But well, he is. But I was tweaking the different formats I was sharing, and like one of them is doing a lot better, but I'm not just going to take that and go, oh, this one's doing a lot better, so I'm going to repeat it, and only it. I'm going, okay, so this one's doing a lot better, so I know experimenting is a good idea, so let me test these other variations as well and see which one is does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that would be how I would go about it, is take a topic that you like really want to get across, and how many different ways can you express that topic?
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. And it connects in a way to what I would say as well, which is I'd love to see you dip your toe on a different marketing strategy that you have not tried, or maybe that you haven't tried in a long time. You know, if you haven't done email marketing, try email marketing. You know, if you haven't gone on social media, try it. If you don't have a website, maybe try building one yourself. Put it up. See, what you learn from it. Don't do that. Hire me. But But the reason I say dip your toe into a new marketing strategy is more not necessarily that you're going to send an email and you're going to get flooded with leads. But if you send out an email and you've never done that before, you're going to learn a little bit about that strategy. You're going to understand that, well, you need to collect emails to be able to send an email out. You need to think of the content of your email and what's going to be in there. You need to think of the structure, the way that things are going to be portioned out. You need to think of a subject line that's going to hook people in. So it's going to give you some insight into that strategy. And I think just by trying it once, you're going to learn a lot. So I would look at it as a learning experience, not as in I'm going to do this and it's going to, revolutionize my business by doing it once, but it'll help you develop the muscles and the memory to do it better and better.
Oh, I absolutely agree. I started doing email marketing for one of my clients, and one of the things that I find really, really interesting is the heat map that the email marketing software that they uses. People click on things in a way that I would never think that they click on the most random stuff, and we didn't have a hyperlink there.
Yeah.
I started doing this 6 months ago. We now have hyperlinks in those places, but but they would click on things. I'd be like, I never would have thought to click on that, and so it just kind of shows you how your stuff is being used. So yeah, I agree with you. You try a new thing. It'd be fun.
Okay, so now it's time for us to start wrapping this up. Let's talk about one piece of advice that we can give to small business owners who are looking to just start 2026 with clarity, with confidence, and on a positive note.
Yeah, so I think a lot, or at least a lot of what I've been trying to iterate here is that it's really important to focus on how you are saying what you want to say. Testing different ways of saying how you're going to say your thing. That is what I'd like to see businesses focusing on in 2026.
Okay, that's good. For me, I just talked about trying something new. I would like to see someone try fewer new things so that you can do them better, right? I don't want you to try a million things. I think that's noise and that's going to disrupt your marketing. But make fewer moves, make better moves. You're going to get clarity from having that focus with your marketing, not from overdoing it and doing a shotgun approach to everything.
Yeah.
Right? If you can be more strategic and tactical, I think that's where you're going to see the best results. So pick a handful of things that actually have been driving results for your business, double down on them, make sure that you understand your capacity, right? Are you able to add something new to the plate? Do you have to outsource it? Do you have to hire a contractor or not? And if you're doing it yourself, then build the habits around it. You've talked about it with social, right? You can take that same idea of time blocking and doing things in a certain cadence and apply it to every marketing strategy that you're doing, right? So develop those habits. That would be my advice. It was a little long-winded, but I'm sticking with it.
Okay, that sounds good. So because you were being maybe a little long-winded, if you could pull one insight from today's conversation, one thing you want people to remember.
You don't need to reinvent your marketing every year. Think of it more as evolution, not revolution. I probably said that before here. But if you're looking to grow, then look at it as evolution in terms of trying something new that can help you get there and reach a new audience. If you're noticing a slow in your sales, then maybe it's reviewing what you have done and then making adjustments to those current strategies in that sense. You don't have to reinvent the wheel every year.
As we mentioned in one of our reflection episodes, if you're reworking your entire marketing strategy at the beginning of the year, the only reason that should be happening is because something went horribly, horribly wrong.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it is iterating. It is evaluating what happened and then making adjustments accordingly. It is not, well, in 2026, I'm going to be a whole new thing, because then you are literally starting from the most difficult place you could be.
Yeah. And with that, I think we've come to a close here today.
Absolutely.
Liz, thank you very much.
Yep, thank you.
And guys, thanks for being here, guys and gals. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you next week.